Hey guys, it's Sarah, and today I'm going to do a reaction video. And what I'm going to be reacting to is something a little bit similar to the video that's been going around where people will react to assumptions about them. And that's just kind of like their personality or their everyday life or their reading styles or whatever it is. And I do want to do something like that, but I'm going to wait on that for a little bit. But I wanted to do a little bit of a twist on that type of video. So what I did was I got on Instagram stories and I asked for you guys to give me assumptions of books that you think I have read at some point in my life. And I wanted books that you would assume that I've read it, or if you heard that I hadn't read it, you would be really surprised or shocked that I haven't read that book. And I wanted to kind of do it that way. And then when I got a good amount, I was going to go ahead and react to those for you guys. So I do have a good amount, and I'm going to share those with you today and let you know whether or not I have read those books. All right, so I have a list on my phone here, and I just wrote down the titles of the books that you guys assumed that I have read. The first one that I got was James and the Giant Peach by Roald Dahl. Yes, I have read James and the Giant Peach. I read that as a kid. I loved it. I love Roald Dahl. I read that one in the BFG multiple times as a kid and just loved it. I love him as an author for sure. The next one is Eat, Pray, Love by Elizabeth Gilbert. Okay. Yes, I read it. I hated that book. Like 1 star. Hated that book. The only part I kind of enjoyed was when she was in Italy, and that's just because she talked about the food that she ate. That's it. I thought it was pretentious. I thought she was having a pity party for herself. I did not like that she set rules for herself on this adventure that she was trying to find herself again, and then she broke them. And I don't know. I didn't like it. And then after the book came out, it was kind of made public that she was paid to go on this trip. So after that, it didn't make it genuine for me. Like she was paid to go on this trip in order to write this book. And I just felt like it was disingenuous. And I hated it. Okay, the next one is The Diviners by Libba Bray. I have not read The Diviners. I have the book. I just haven't read it. And I really want to. That's one that I really do want to read. I want to read Libba Bray as an author. I just haven't read anything by her yet. But The Diviners is on my shelves to read. Just haven't done it yet. The next one is The Godfather by Mario Puzo. And I have not read The Godfather. I have seen the movies. I loved the movies. I really did. I watched those and I was really surprised that I loved them so much as I did, but I really did. I do want to read the book because it is on the Great American Reads list. I did not know it was a book until the Great American Reads list came out. I didn't realize it was a book before it was movies, but it's definitely on my list to read at some point, but I don't own it and I have not read it yet. And the next one is Angela's Ashes by Frank McCourt. I have not read Angela's Ashes. I haven't read anything by Frank McCourt, but that's probably one of his most popular books. And is that his memoir, I want to say? I'm pretty positive that's his memoir. But no, it's very popular, but I have not read it. Okay, the next one is Where the Red Fern Grows by Wilson Rawls. I just reread this. I did read it as a kid. When I was in 5th grade, we read it as a class, and I cried my eyes out. And then we watched the movie, and I cried my eyes out even more. And I just read it again for my master's class in children's literature. I read it as part of one of my projects and listened to the audiobook, and I loved it. Okay, the next one is Intensity by Dean Koontz. I have not read that book. I haven't read anything by Dean Koontz, which kind of surprises me because I have a feeling if I read some of his books, I would really enjoy them. He's kind of in the same league as Stephen King. He's very prolific. He has a lot of books out and they're very popular thrillers. So I have a feeling I would enjoy his books, but I just haven't read anything by him yet. Okay, the next one is Salem's Lot by Stephen King. Speaking of, I have not read Salem's Lot. That is one, I actually had plans to read that with a friend of mine, but we ended up reading Pet Sematary instead. But yeah, I haven't read that, but I want to. Isn't that the one that has vampires in it? Yeah, like I'm into that. So, but no, I haven't read it yet. Okay, the next one is At the Water's Edge by Sarah Gruen. I have not read that book. The only Sarah Gruen book I have read is Water for Elephants, which is one of my favorite books of all time. And then I did read a second one from her, but I don't remember the name of it. It was something about horses. Someone who lives on a horse ranch. but I can't remember the name. But I have not read At the Water's Edge. Should I? Okay, the next one is The Outsiders by S.E. Hinton. Yes, I have read that. I read that in high school, in my senior year of high school, and I loved it. And then we watched the movie, and I loved that. I just recently hauled the 50th anniversary edition of that book because I do want to reread it at some point. Okay, the next one is the Court of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J. Maas. Yes, I have read all of them, including the Frost and Starlight novella. I have read those. And Guilty Pleasure, I love them. Number 2, more than any other book, like, ever. But yes, I've read them. The next one is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson. Yes, I have read that whole trilogy. I have not read the ones that were published after Stieg Larsson's death. I don't want to do that. But the original trilogy I did read, and I loved them, and I flew through them. And that was, I remember just devouring those books. They're good. The next one is The Help by Catherine Stockett. Yes, it's actually right here behind my shoulder. I have read that. We read it for book club when I lived in Tucson, and I absolutely loved it. That is a book that I would reread again. Man, that book packs a punch. It's really powerful, and I loved every minute of it. And the movie was so well done. Just, Minnie is everything. Okay, the next one is The Things We Cannot Say by Kelly Rimmer. I have not read that yet. I have it. I got it from NetGalley. But yeah, I haven't read it yet, but I really want to. Okay, the next one is Speak by Lori Halls Anderson. I have read this book. I'm in a minority that I didn't really enjoy it. And I found myself very frustrated with it. And frustrated at the main character. And yeah, I had a hard time enjoying this one. And it's a tough subject matter. It is. And just, I don't know, something with it didn't sit right with me. And I was just like, would you just say something already? Like, it drove me nuts. So yeah, read it, didn't love it. Okay, 2 more. So the next one is Interview with a Vampire by Anne Rice. I have not read that book. Nope. I used to own it. I think I had it on my Kindle for a while, and then I took it off because I was just like, I don't know if I'm ever going to really actually read this. So I haven't read it, but should I? I don't know. I was interested at one point, especially, I think Twilight got everyone into vampires, and vampires became such a big thing in books. But yeah, so I haven't read that one. But if you think I should, if you think I would really like it, let me know. Because at one point I was interested in it. Okay, so this last one was interesting because when it was sent to me in my messages, it kind of got flipped a little bit. So I asked for books that you assume that I have read, but this one is an assumption that I have not read. So I thought that was interesting. So for this one, the response I got was, I'm going to assume that you've never read After by Anna Todd. No, I haven't read After. So in that sense, you're correct. You're assuming I haven't read it, and I haven't. But I want to. I know it's a hot mess. I know it's a train wreck. I'm going into it with very, very low expectations, but I'm still interested in what it is that is just causing everybody to talk about it so much. That's why I want to read it. I want to know what the story is. I want to know what's so wrong with it. And make a decision for myself on what I think. But it's sitting on top of my TBR cart right now. I do plan to read it. I'm thinking maybe this summer, and maybe I'll do a reading vlog. Maybe I'll do that. We'll see. But yeah, so I haven't read it, but I'm planning to. All right, guys, that is it for this video. I thought this was kind of a fun little twist on the reacting to your assumptions and just reacting to books that you think I've read. So that was very interesting. And I think it was a good mix of, I have read them and some of them I haven't. And then some I've read that I didn't really like, but majority of people do like them. That's always interesting. If you guys have any more assumptions, leave them down below and I will answer them. And I hope you enjoyed this. So I will talk to you guys again soon. Hope you have a great day. Bye.